That's what I do. I wake up in the morning, usually earlier than most of you.
3 o'clock.
3 a.m. is past the morning.
Tony and I know.
And the first thing I do is I meditate. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard about the importance of meditation. How many here meditate on a consistent basis? Okay, some of you. I heard for years that meditation was important, but I never did. I heard it from Joe Dispenza. I heard it from John DeMartini. I heard it from, I spent the weekend with Deepak Chopra. He talked about it, but I never did it. And then I went to a seminar with a woman that she had a very successful architecture company. She's written a number of books. Her name is Sarah Susanka. She's out of the Midwest. I believe she's out of Minnesota. She wrote a series of books entitled The Not So Big House. And my wife and I had designed together and built, we were the general contractors, the house that we live in. We did it about 10 years ago, and it was based on her concepts and ideas. The Not So Big House. Well, she wrote a book entitled The Not So Big Life. And she had a seminar at a place called Omega, the Omega Institute in New York, Rhinebeck, New York, which is an institute for personal growth and for conferences. So we went to see her. And we spent the weekend with her. And some of it was meditation, a lot of it was lecture and discussion. But she said something that touched me and just made so much sense. She said, you know, you wouldn't think about leaving your house in the morning without brushing your teeth. You just wouldn't do that. And she says, I wouldn't leave my house in the morning without meditating. And I don't know why, after all those years and all these mentors of mine saying the importance of meditation, that one line or that phrase just hit me. And that was about 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, I started meditating consistently. And I did it maybe, I don't know, on average 5 to 6 days a week, which is pretty consistent, from anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And the meditation I did was the Bradley Rausch meditation. I hadn't studied meditation. I think one of the reasons people avoid it is that they just don't think they can do it, or they believe that they can't quiet their mind, and that meditation is all about quieting your mind and stopping your thoughts. So for 7.5 years, I did the Bradley Rausch meditation, and there were benefits to that. And then about 6 months ago, I had this thought that, you know what, I've been doing this meditation all these years and these benefits, but maybe, just maybe, there's another way to meditate that would be more effective, more efficient, and have greater impact. Kind of like exercise, where I've increased my level of training significantly in the last few months, which led to a much different outcome in my last triathlon than the previous triathlons I've been in. And a dear friend of mine who had been doing a certain type of meditation for the last 2 years, I saw significant changes in him. And I asked him about it. And he had been doing a form of meditation that I've known about for 20 or 30 years. It's called TM, or Transcendental Meditation. Some of you have heard of it, I'm sure some of you haven't. And there was a teacher, a TM teacher in Vermont, in Williston, Vermont, which is about 35 minutes from my home. And I contacted him. And it was a 3-day process of learning the meditation. And it was a commitment, because you do it twice a day for 20 minutes. And I learned the meditation, I went through the program. And what I've realized in these last 5 to 6 months of doing it is that I'm glad I made that decision to learn TM, because it's had a pretty profound effect on my life. So I meditate every day. And then I oil pull. Some of you may know what oil pulling is. I've been doing it for, I don't know, a year and a half. You can look it up online. I do it for 20 minutes. And then I exercise, and I I'm in the gym usually 6 days a week. In the summertime, I'm not in the gym that much. I'm on my bike, I'm swimming, I'm running. And this is a piece that is important to me. Every single day, I'm either reading or listening to something that's inspirational for me. I have several mentors in my life: Joe Dispenza, John DeMartini, Greg Braden. A new one in the past few months, not Deepak Chopra, Panache Desai, who has been an amazing thought leader. I can't remember a day that hasn't gone by where I haven't done something to help remove the husk and to help me in my journey of becoming more authentic and connecting to my soul. So that's what I do. I go to seminars. There's one coming up end of October in a place called Kripalu. It's a yoga center in Massachusetts, and it just so happens Panache Desai is going to be there. I haven't committed to it yet because it's over Halloween, and I've got a 6-year-old, and I'm hesitant because I love sharing that experience, that holiday with her. Yet we're discussing it. And I'd say the likelihood is that I'll probably be in Massachusetts over Halloween for a few days to be with one of my mentors. So that's how I do it.